Hey folks, sometimes I make my way down to the side here of Heart Lake. I get into some of this shallow parts here and I'm looking for turtles, eastern painteds. There are some Blanding's turtles, and of course we've got our snapping turtles. But one of the things that I get to come across sometimes is that little guy right there. Now that is a newt. All right, so unlike the other salamanders, all right, that newt spends most of its life right there in the water. Yeah, and they are so incredibly hard to find, hard to see, because yeah, they can literally feel the vibrations. Like if you're coming across the shoreline, you know, your shadow vibrations, they're gone. They just slip under. And until you actually come up slowly and see one in the water, you know, just doing its thing, most people don't even know they're here. All right. Now, first introduced to newts as a child when I'd see them for sale at the pet store, and I thought that they were, you know, completely an exotic species. You know, something that, oh, like, you know, they very well could be. They could have been raised in captivity and, you know, come from, you know, other places, United States. However, it wasn't until I learned a little bit more about them as a child, in that despite being an aquatic amphibian, they do have a part of their life cycle that is spent on land. And those I have found many times, just walking across the lawn, you know, when I'm cutting the grass or when I'm going through the wood pile. I'll find their terrestrial form. It's about 2 years, and you know, they are quite small, and they're known as a red eft, just brilliant red orange with the little black dots along their back. But they are dry, you know, not like a salamander. They have a dry skin. It's a terrestrial form, and they're just out hanging on the mosses, hanging out in the grasses, and spend the night under a log. But otherwise, they are nocturnal hunters and feeding off the smallest of insects, you know, that are, you know, ants and springtails, things like that, little millipedes, little centipedes. But what a difference. I talked the other day about the life cycle adaptations that are redback salamander, and even on this short walk, again, force of habit as an outdoor entertainer, I probably flipped over a dozen pieces of wood in the forest, and yeah, I found a dozen of those salamanders, all different sizes, you know, some very, very small ones and some fully developed adults. But it's not too often I get to see, yet alone capture, especially with a dip net, one of those newts. So I saw it,